Welcome, Sojourners. You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and this is our production of The Bookish and the Brave. In this most recent production, the Bookens have returned to Baldtop Library, but before they can begin their new quest, they must simply meet Asyndeton, the newest member of the Sojourners. And we pick up right in the middle of the action. And so for now, our story continues. You see that there are 3 doors within this underground chamber. There are 3 names on the doors. Asyndeton to the left, Philo to the center, and Irony to the right. How do you proceed?
Vaughn's gonna look at Sterling and give him a shrug like, you do what you want to do, and then he's gonna knock on Asyndeton's door.
Sterling is, he's going to Philo because he remembers he was the one that said he's going to take care of it, he's going to sort this all out and come back. So it's now that he's there, he feels kind of guilty, the fact that he didn't bring it up while he was with Skoda and he brought up other stupid things. So Sterling would knock on the door. Hello? Philo, are you there?
Oh, what? I'm here. Hello? Is it dinner time? Opens the door and sees you.
Oh. Hey! How are you doing? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, well, we did
Hanging
it.
in there.
Good, yeah, well, not literally, I hope. No? Okay.
No.
Okay. I don't know what they do in here. So, sorry. Okay, good. But yeah, we did it, mate. We took the Abadoon gang. It was with the help of a dragon, not our dragon, but...
I hope that everyone's safe and sound.
Yeah.
I feel awful.
Oh, yeah. No, we knocked it out of the park, mate. Like, no more books. Got the Kim Watson book. Shouldn't happen again. So hopefully we can clear your name, get you out of here, wherever you want to go.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, I'm glad you're okay, but I am looking forward to being absolved.
I mean, I got blasted by a dragon. It was lightning.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, are you?
Yeah. Well, it would be worse if I was locked in a dark room. Personally speaking. So, this is.
He looks over and turns on the light. It's not always dark in here.
Oh, okay, good. I don't know. Like, I've seen some weird places, but this seems kind of nice. Yeah. But they treated you well.
I'm fine. Just
okay. Oh, good. Well,
thank you. Thank you for doing that. It's good to have friends in high places. We'd do it for anyone. So it feels. But I'm glad it was you. And so we'll get this sorted out. We got 3 days, and we won't forget. So yeah, all right, mate. Just hang out for a little bit more. Just some good news I thought I'd share. It's very kind of you.
Yeah, we're just gonna be next door. But if you need anything, just you good?
Okay. I'm all right, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Turns out the light and shut the door. Sterling, you're just right around the corner. Vaughn, how do you proceed?
Vaughn's going to knock on Asyndeton's door.
Knock, knock, knock. At Asyndeton, you hear a knock at the door.
Hello? Who's there?
My name is Vaughn. I'm a bookend. Skoda has sent me.
I suppose on your side of the door you hear shuffling and then just silence for a moment. Come in?
Vaughn will open the door.
Aramonte, hiding behind you, Vaughn, says, "Hey, you've returned. Oh, good. Okay. His name is Asyndeton." And she presents Asyndeton before you.
Thank you, Aramonte. Good to meet you, Asyndeton.
She proudly walks away.
Asyndeton looks stunned for a moment and almost flustered. And then he gives a half bow very formally and then stands up and says, I have long waited for this moment, Master Vaughn.
Why do you call me Master Vaughn?
Because you are one of the bookends. You are worthy of respect.
I appreciate that, but I believe every man is worthy of respect.
That is true, in a way. but it is quite the honor to meet you. I have heard so much about your exploits.
Well, I'm flattered, and I know someone who speaks fondly of you, and he looks at Aramonte, gets that goofy-looking grin on his face again, and then looks back at Asyndeton. But that is not necessarily why I'm here. You know that Skoda has told us that we will be working together.
He has? What could I possibly do to assist the Bookends?
Well, we understand that you are full of knowledge concerning the Black Lotus flower.
Oh, the Black Lotus. It has been some time since I've read about it, but yes, I do have some knowledge.
Well, we need to sharpen that knowledge, because in 3 days' time, we will be expected to pursue and secure this Black Lotus flower before people with ill intentions find it.
That is a tall task, isn't it? I beg your pardon. I don't have much in the way of accommodation here. Would you care to sit on, this stone over here?
Vaughn will look to see where Aramonte is.
She's playing with the dog.
He's going to sit on the opposite side of her from the dog. And he probably won't reach out to touch her, but you can just tell that he's completely Twitter-pated. He can't even think straight.
I love it.
Sterling, about that moment, you have the freedom to pursue.
Is the door open or closed?
I think Vaughn would have left it open unless Asyndeton told him to close it.
Yeah. Okay, mate. All right, bye. So hi. Sitting on the floor. Okay. Hi. How are you doing? I'm Sterling.
The same look on Asyndeton's face as when Vaughn came in. Master Sterling.
See, I knew I was his boss.
Oh, don't call him that. Don't call him that.
He comes towards you with his hand slightly extended, and then he flexes it briefly. A small look of pain crosses his face, and then he withdraws it and gives you the same bow.
Sterling, seeing that, would cure his wounds. He'd see the wince of pain and be like, "Huh?" and hold on a little bit extra long, and give him this little jolt of kind of like, I just speak to Philo next door. He's doing well. Are they treating you worse than him?
I think Asyndeton, feeling the cure wounds effect, I think a sad look will actually cross over his face for just a moment. And he says, "Oh, is that who's next door to me? The one who keeps humming?"
Humming? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, his name's Philo. He's a great guy. He got in a bit of trouble, but, so did you. What was that about?
That is an excellent question. I was doing my work and stumbled across a forbidden section, forbidden to me, that is. I thought perhaps Skoda might be in trouble, so I poked my head in, I suppose, where I shouldn't have, but I thought his safety was paramount, and, not being one to lie, I confessed to my transgression, and, here I am.
Oh, yeah. I know all about poking my head into places I shouldn't. Yeah, but okay, that's good of you not to lie. But sorry that it ended up here. I heard you're some kind of expert in koi carp monasteries or something. Is that fish? What's that?
Vaughn's going to stand up at this point because he can see where this is going, and he's going to prepare himself to stop Sterling from doing what Sterling does at some point.
With that being said, outside the Helping Hands workshop, Old Man Whiskers is smoking a pipe with his hairy feet stuck up in the air. Leilana, in like fashion, pops open her useless eye patch, blinks with both eyes. Woo, is that Hawkins? Hey there, Hawkins! Woo, you're just in time for the 339th celebration of Ball Top Library. Welcome back.
I'm surprised you can recognize me. You seem to be well into your drink there, Leilana.
It's all doing all right. It's the same stuff we use to clean out the engines. It's doing all right. It's good stuff, you know what I mean? But come over here. They both give you a warm Henfolk embrace, nearly squeezing the life out of you.
I was hoping that you guys would help me out on a little project, but I don't know if I.
Ooh, he's already at work. See, that's one thing I like about him. So we got lots to talk about. But come on, man, come inside. What do you want to work on? Oh, that actually reminds me. I got something I want Hawkins to look at.
All right, well, let me show you this first. He takes out the sword and says, "This is a design from my parents. When you push this button here, don't push it yet. But when you do push it, it shoots a little grappling hook out, and then it sort of retracts itself automatically. It's real cool, but it's a little bit too heavy for me. I think it'll be a good tool for me to use as a bookend, but I'm not quite strong or tall enough for it. So I was thinking,
you want to make it a little smaller?
Yeah, just trim down the metal. Take a little bit of the mass out of this part here and this part over here. He's pointing to different parts of the sword.
Wouldn't it be cool? I got an idea. Wouldn't it be cool if we cut it down in half, but put the blades on? Let's see. Where's the grappling hook come out? I don't see it. Does it come out the front end, the pommel, or where's it come out of?
Through the blade. The end of the blade shoots out.
We could just put that blade down a little bit. Yeah, you think we could do? Yeah, we'll get it taken care of. How much time we got?
Well, I don't know exactly when we're leaving, but we need to be somewhere in 3 days.
3 days? We should have had this bit yesterday. Come on, let's get working back again. Come on inside the shop. I gotta show you something else. It's pretty interesting. Inside the Helping Hands workshop, Whiskers asks you a question. So, out there on that mission of y'all's, how did you have to do any sneaking around?
There were a couple of cases where I think being sneaky would have helped, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I got an experiment. It's this little bottle. He holds you like this large wine bottle full of sand. And he pours the sand out around Leilana in a circle. And then you watch as the sand coalesces on her body and forms into a sandcastle. And there before you, where Leilana was standing, is a sandcastle. He says, "Whoa, it worked. Good. Okay, well, last time she turned into a puddle of mud, and it didn't work out so good. And then we got a volunteer, and he turned into a campfire, and we couldn't figure out how to put him out. The point is, it's great, but it's a little finicky. And so I was hoping maybe you could take it on with you, tinker with it a little bit, and see if maybe you could figure out how to make it more consistent. And that way you could do it on command. Because you imagine turning yourself into a campfire, that could come in handy.
As long as you can turn back, I suppose."
Well, we have timed it, and it's anywhere from a minute to an hour. And that's part of the testing process we need to work on. But if it's nothing you don't think you can use, don't feel obligated to take it or anything. We're just glad to have you back all in one piece. You are all in one piece, right?
Yeah, well, actually, now that you mention it, I kind of have an extra piece. And Hawkins will call the second shadow to surround his body and make him go semi-ethereal for a moment. This is the damage resistance feature.
There are a couple electrical lights within the Helping Hands workshop that illuminate parts of the iron works and the metal gears that they're working on, little spotlights. When you call forth that shadow, they begin to flicker and dim. Whiskers whistles loudly. Ooh, Hawkins. Now that is why I like metal and gears before spirit and phantoms. Ooh, that raises the hair on the back of my toes.
It would do the same to mine if I had hair there. It's not a great feeling. It feels like it drains a little bit of life out of me. If you have any time to do some research? figure out how I might be able to
That
separate
is not my
myself.
expertise, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, I nah. Oh,
That's
I
fair
would
enough.
never tamper with something like that. Yeah, it's, just not my expertise, Hawkins. But I'm sure there's a couple of book nerds around here that know something about that. Get you some spiritual surgery or something. Because I gotta tell you, I don't have to know anything about the spirit realm to know that that is not a great thing. Where'd you pick up something like that?
In the abyss, of course.
Oh, well, naturally, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not just collecting books and all. Yeah, you're going to all kinds of weird places. Hey, don't forget to get a stamp of everywhere you've been.
Well, I think Vaughn has a scar or two from the abyss. That might have to count as our stamp.
Well, I tell you what, I don't envy you. And if there's ever a time you want to retire, believe me, I got a place here for you at the Helping Hands workshop. Hey, actually, I got something else I want to show you. Leilana's a sandcastle right now. I didn't bother to tell her. I didn't want anybody to wrangle the information out of her. But phew, if you've been to the abyss and everything, you've seen far worse. He pulls back the covers of this mechanical man. Halfway assembled, it's just the torso, the arms, the head. Looks like a skeleton, a robotic metal skeleton. He says, now, I know you've probably seen things like this before, but look under here. He unscrews this plate on the chest, and on the inside of the chest plate, you see that there is the insignia, House of Basile. Now, normally, I would just think this is on par, but we received a shipment of these, 50 of them. And they got various little kinks that need to be worked out, and so that's what I'm busy doing.
I'd be very careful about getting these anywhere near anything important. Yeah, Lord Basile keeps showing up in all the wrong places. I don't think this was a charitable donation, if you understand what I'm saying.
So, what are you telling Old Man Whiskers to do?
If you could sort of remove its programming, maybe replace its core with the core that we already use here, you might have to work on some adapters between the controls that it sends and the appendages that the machine has, but I don't know that I would trust anything that came from House Basile right now.
What should I do with all the core processors? The ones that came in the machines?
Well, you like bonfires, don't you?
Oh, burning the evidence. Ooh, you picked up more than a shadow there, Hawkins. All right, well, I mean, it's no secret I don't agree with everything Bald Hop here does. I don't want Leilani involved. Keep it on the down low for now, and I'll do what I can to heed your warning, and if I get any news about these things coming online, you'll be the first to know.
I appreciate it.
Maybe I'll find some extra projects that take up my mind. You know, there's a benefit to calling yourself scatterbrained.
You just got to finish
still
a
got
project every once in a while.
Oh, sure. If I finish something, people are going to trust me to finish things, though. I don't know. You sure you can't stay?
I'd love to. Maybe when we get done with this mission that Skoda's got us going on, maybe I'll have some downtime then and catch up a bit.
He holds the sand bottle up to you and looks at you expectingly.
I'm real excited about this. I'll maybe do some testing with it in the downtime, and if I can make any improvements on it, well, maybe I'll use it in prime time and give you a good old field report.
All right, Hawkins. Now, I'll let the drink wear off. Give her another hour. He readjusts the sandcastle just a little bit, afraid that it might fall apart. He leaves you to your business, Hawkins. How do you proceed?
Hawkins trusts Old Man Whiskers and Leilana to take good care of him, and so he's comfortable leaving the sword in their hands. He'll go out and seek out Vaughn and Sterling. I think it makes sense for him to. Well, Skoda said that they were going to the House of Lazarus, so he'll head that way.
Well, Hawkins, you're the one to see it. As you step back out into the court, you see that in celebration of this anniversary, there's a demonstration. A nondescript man is standing there with a short haircut and a very, very brown, black, simple cloak. Obviously, some theater is occurring. There's a shorter woman who's got a disguise of a beard and she's wielding a large warhammer. There's some other characters involved in some kind of battle. And there is a young hinfolk man standing beside the tall man with a cloak. Some dialogue goes on. A flash of smoke erupts. And you see that the tall, nondescript man quietly sneaks away in the distraction, leaving behind a cloak. The young hinfolk man holds up the cloak and says, "Behold, last remains of Hay Woodworth Runedeth. Hail Hay." And they hold up the cloak in reverence. By this time, you are well to the door, and you enter and you see the names Philo, Irony, and Asyndeton. And beyond Asyndeton's door, you hear the voices.
Hawkins will make his way in.
Hawkins, as you enter, Vaughn, Sterling, and Asyndeton, how do you appear?
Vaughn is giving Sterling the side eye, just kind of trying to help him to stop his yammering, and I'm kind of watching this whole thing go down.
Asyndeton is drinking in everything. He's in the presence of two people that he very greatly admires, and so he is more focused on the company he's keeping than the words that are being spoken, although he's still trying to keep some sense of what's going on around him.
And Sterling's kind of doing the same thing he did around the campfire, for just sharing stories about the last battle, and so he's just really amped up. He's like, "So yeah, the dragon was on the bridge, and I zapped and fell down the stairs, but
you don't say."
Yeah, and then there was these like lycanthropes, whatever that means, like werewolves. They smelled really bad. I know that much.
Oh, but I can imagine. Yes.
Yeah, but we took them out, and then there was a brain, and then there was books, and anyway. But then we got out of Bochen, so it was a good time.
That is quite the tale. It sounds like it's screaming for a poetic rendering.
Oh, I mean, that's not my area of expertise. Do you do any of that?
On occasion, I've been known to.
All right. I mean, if you want to bounce some ideas off me, I'm all about it. But who would play me?
No one will play you.
You are one of a kind, Master Sterling.
I think I can get used to this, Vaughn. I think I can.
Hawkins, I'm glad you're here. Sterling was just talking again.
Master Hawkins.
And you must be Asyndeton.
I start to stand, but then I realize the height difference and kneel instead and extend my hand, and then again start to pull it back, but then realize that it's healed now, and so I do extend my hand to Hawkins.
Hawkins shakes it.
May I say it is an honor to meet you, sir.
I appreciate that. It's I'm not we're still getting used to being honored, but I do appreciate that. Pardon us if we're a bit uncomfortable with that.
No, I understand. Having things thrust upon you can be quite intimidating.
Yeah, you know Skoda a little bit, right? I mean, like, we barely set foot in the door and he already gave us another mission. Like, does that sound like him?
It sounds exactly like him. There's always more to be done, yes.
He's a tough egg, but I'm a crack him. I really am.
Underneath that crusty exterior, there beats a heart that is good and pure. You just have to get to know him a little.
Hawkins, the summons is in your hand.
Are you much of an adventurer, Asyndeton?
Whew. It has been some time since I felt the call of the open road, but I must say it has been beckoning me again.
It looks like you're going to get your opportunity. It seems as though Skoda's doing you a favor, I suppose, and letting you out of the fire a bit. We're gonna go on a trip together.
He wants me to accompany the bookends. He gets a dreamy look on his face for just a moment and then shakes his head. I consider this a great honor.
Well, we certainly need a guide, and you come highly recommended.
I must not disappoint then. So I heard Koi Monastery.
Is that far from here? Is there some way we could teleport to it, or?
It is some DM supplied distance from here. I don't know.
And is that where we'll find the Black Lotus then? It seems like it's important for us to get there before.
While you're all talking to Asyndeton and getting to know him, Aramonte begins to sleep in the corner quietly. She's close to Vaughn.
Oh, look at her. She's
Kalan-
bushed. Don't mind me. Sorry.
Kalan walks in the door. Ah, welcome back, Bookends. I see you've met Asyndeton. Well, I suppose I can say this in front of him. That's fine. Assuming you were successful with your mission, I need you to decide by the end of the day what should be the fate of Philo. And Vaughn, I need you to decide the fate of Irony. It is clear that he will not be reinstated here at Baldtop Library. But what he did warrants a crime, and you are free to press charges if you wish. Whatever you decide, I will understand. I will return within the hour to hear your decision. Thank you for your expediency. In very brisk fashion, Kalan goes off to deal with other matters at hand, leaving you in the silence of Asyndeton's room.
Vaughn will look at the three of them and Aramonte sleeping in the corner and satisfied that she is safe and that these guys can handle the rest of the conversation. He will look at them and say, "It looks like I have something I need to do. If you hear loud crashing, please come in and save his life." And Vaughn's going to walk away and go over to Irony's room.
And Stone's going to call after him. Remember, the irony is, if he didn't do it, you wouldn't have Aramente.
Vaughn, Irony's room is unlocked.
Vaughn will knock on the door anyway.
He opens it quickly. It is about time. I'm hungry. Oh, hey, Vaughn.
Irony,
You're
why don't you have
back.
a seat?
Oh.
Yes.
He sits on the ground outside in the threshold of the door.
All right. Vaughn will leave the door open and stand a couple feet away from him. And so, would you like to explain to me why you made that decision with my apartment?
I am so sorry. I was giving a tour, and everything was going great. I was doing a great job, and it was Trina, Samoon, and Birdie, and they wanted to go inside, and I let him in. I thought it would be okay, and I didn't think they were up to. I didn't know what they were doing, and then all of a sudden, Birdie started kissing me, and I didn't realize what was going on, and then I heard a lot of noise, and then the door locked, and there was a lot of electricity, so I tried to save him, and then I must have passed out, and
So you thought that giving someone access to somebody else's apartment was a good decision, and then you allowed the riffraff to happen because you were kissing someone.
well, I didn't know it was kissing at the time, but I thought you would want people to know where you live because you're so famous. He realizes that falls as soon as he says it.
This is a problem, Irony. See, your fate
No,
is in
I
my
know.
hands, and the way that you're communicating now does not bode well for your future anywhere, to be quite honest.
Realizing that up to this point he had only considered his loss at Bald Top, his eyes go wide as he wonders, what do you mean by anywhere? What do you mean by anywhere?
Well, see, I think it's quite clear that your position at Bald Top has been forfeit. But
Yes.
it has... Kalan has given me the responsibility to decide if charges should be brought against you that could affect your life outside of Bald Top as well. And so I came over here as a rational, even-minded man to hear you out and try to understand what you were thinking, and all I hear is more nonsense and confusion, which makes it very difficult for me to want to pardon you in any way, lest you make these same decisions again.
Make a persuasion check.
That's a 10.
Mm-hmm. At that point, when he hears the idea of pardon, he begins to cry. Stands up quickly, going towards the furthest corner in the room as if he is caught in a cage. He says, I don't want to go to dungeons. I don't want to go to any dungeons, Vaughn. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was stupid. I'm stupid. And he begins to beat his fist onto his head. I was stupid. He grabs at one of his horns and just tugs on it, and he just begins to blame his ancestry.
Vaughn's gonna allow him to do that for a little bit.
He keeps on going and eventually just cursing, stupid devils. I'm just wrong.
Are you done yet?
Tears dry up. And then he looks and says, I'm sorry, Vaughn. I hope they didn't steal anything. I hope they didn't take anything.
Well, the good news is they didn't take anything, but what you don't know is there's some history there that has created a quite complicated situation. And
He wipes away a tear and says, really? What history?
this is none of your business.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But needless to say, there was a ulterior motive to getting into my apartment, and had you used your common sense to know that you don't let somebody else into anybody else's apartment, we might not have had this happen.
That's the problem. I don't have common sense. I'm stupid.
And now you bring me back to my dilemma. How do I send you out into that world where you could possibly cause problems like this again?
Well, I won't have a key card, that's for sure.
That is for sure. Stay put, Irony. Kalan will be back to let you know your fate.
He
And Vaughn's
swallows
just going
hard.
to turn away.
His mouth goes dry. Vaughn, you reconvene with your bookends, with your sojourners.
Good news, guys. I didn't kill him.
I appreciate your ability to control yourself.
I had complete faith in you, Master Vaughn.
Thank you, Asyndeton. I think I'm becoming a little more level-headed. And he'll look over Aramonte's way.
So I kind of mentioned to Philo that we were going to try and get him out of here. I don't think he's anywhere connected to the Ambadoon. He definitely doesn't smell like, wet dog. So, I think if we let Kellen know to get him out of here. Of course, he can't stay, but, I think it'd be right to get him out.
Sounds right to me. What do you think, Hawkins?
I agree. I think he was desperate to get in, and I can completely understand that. There's a lot of good things here at Bald Top Library.
As far as irony goes, I can't. I think he just made a dumb mistake, and as much of a headache it created, good has come of it as well. And he's going to look at Aramonte with that goofy grin on his face again. He can't help himself. And then he's going to look back at the guys and say, well, I think possibly it worked out for good, assuming I don't run into her mother anytime soon. My suggestion would be that we let him go, just like Philo, and hope that they can find a better life somewhere else.
Master Vaughn, I hate to interrupt. Would it be of use to you if you could know his true thinking?
Yes. Is that something you can do?
I think through my years of study, I might have some insights into a way that could perhaps put your mind at ease about the decision you are forced to make here.
I would greatly appreciate that, Asyndeton.
It will require me to be in his presence and to maintain eye contact, if that's all right.
I can't imagine that he would be opposed to that, considering the alternative and knowing that his fate is in my hands.
We can start as soon as you like, then.
Why don't you come with me?
Gladly.
Vaughn will walk back over to Irony's room. He's going to just open the door on his own this time and say, Irony, I would like you to have a conversation with my friend. This is Asyndeton.
He stands up and concedes.
Hello, Irony. I was a reader here at Balltop, and I have heard your name, of course. I was wondering if you might be willing to allow me to make sure of your thoughts. It would certainly help Master Vaughn with his decision that he must make.
He understands the process, and his eyes drop to the ground. Yes, of course.
Wonderful. I know you understand how important this is to both you and him.
Okay.
If you will sit, and I will sit across from you.
He sits down.
Great. Once we're settled, I sit down across from him and hold out my hands, palms up.
He places sweaty palms in your hands.
And I stare into his eyes, and I cast Detect Thoughts. And at first, I'm able to detect surface thoughts of the creature, things that occupy his mind at the moment. And then, using an action, I can direct my attention to thoughts that are deeper.
The first thing you notice, the surface thoughts that erupt in his mind. I sure hope Bond doesn't pummel me or something. Or make me do work or embarrass me in front of my friends.
Asyndeton chuckles to himself just a little bit at that.
I can't go back home like this. And you see that he has a thought of a ticket. A certain Captain Switcher on the Fatefell ship takes in sailors at the docks in Bochen on long and arduous journeys. Thoughts have crossed Irony's mind to just simply skip the trip to High Keep, back to his home. You see his father's stern, tiefling face. His mother, his human mother, narrowing her eyes. And they say, Thomas Irony Riverwell. How could you have done this? Do you realize the investment, the cost it took to send you there, and you threw it all away to impress some ladron? To kiss some woman? Do you realize how embarrassing this is? His shoulders slump, and his eyes look over towards that ship. It's away. He sighs. You are free to roam about his mind.
I suppose I force my thoughts into some semblance of meaning that begins probing for information about the events that he is to answer to.
Like you're looking for his motivation.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
his
I'm trying to
penance, his
figure out.
repentance.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out were his actions motivated by ill
Gotcha.
intent? Yep, exactly.
You go back to that day and the favor that Trina was given by Baldtop Library included a tour. Having sensed the specialness of this situation, Thomas Riverwell swelled with pride at having been chosen. His heart was beating. He was within reach of greatness. Can't simply come to an end. Can't stop it now. It's only just begun. I've got to draw this out for as long as this moment can last. The pressure of 3 eager and apparently very important visitors. No one is allowed beyond the green door unless they have exceeding favor with Baldtop. I can't say no to them. I look like an idiot. I can't ask Kalan. I'll look like an idiot. What do? It won't hurt. They'll just be in and out. They'll be okay. They'll just be in and out. They just want to see what a Bookins apartment looks like. I mean, who doesn't? And I'll stand right outside and make sure nothing goes wrong. It'll all be okay. He smiles and lets them inside.
I sit back and let go of Irony's hands and then turn stiffly to Vaughn. I think his motivation was more about pride and ambition than anything else.
And at that, he passes out, banging his head upon the floor.
And that's not going to feel very good in a moment.
Well, it seems to me that that's the most physical punishment he's going to receive for this crime. So I hope it hurts a little.
You can give him another if you think it will help you.
I think I have won in this situation. I will concede. Where does he want to go? What does he want to do? Where will he go?
That was not entirely clear to me. I get the impression he is not keen on returning to his home. It seems as though his family is rather demanding and perhaps would not understand his situation all that well. As to where he might find himself going, I don't know that I gathered that, but I feel that he would be more content in his own mind if he were to go on in the other direction.
I see. Hawkins, can you come in here?
Hawkins has been standing in the doorway, so he takes a step in.
It seems that our friend, Irony, cannot return home. I'm wondering if you would do him a boon and write a letter to his parents, letting them know that he was sent away from Baldtop on a different but important mission, and that they should be proud of him.
So you want me to lie? Am I following you here?
I think he's been through enough. He seems very tortured by what happened here and the mistake that he made. And Asyndeton communicated to me that in his thoughts he is not fond of going home. He's afraid of how his parents will respond. So, in light of that, and giving him a chance to redeem his relationship with his family, maybe we can, well, you're the wordsmith. Maybe you can come up with a way to appease his parents to accept him despite his leaving Baldtop. I can leave that to you. I don't care which words you write. I'm just trying to save him the possibility of relationship with his family. You know, family is very important.
Yeah, certainly maintaining the respect of your parents is a valuable thing. I'll see what I can do for him.
Thank you. Sterling, are you still there?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah.
Sterling.
Oh, coming. Just let me know if it's bloody in there. I don't want to see any more.
Well,
Rolling it.
It could be bloody. Irony hit his head pretty hard, but I think it would be beneficial to Irony to see a more friendly face than mine when he comes to. And well, as annoying as you are, I can't think of a more friendly face.
I love you too, Vaughn. Now, I wonder if he knows Yazbro. I mean, do like all half demons know each other?
Vaughn's
I mean,
gonna
that's
walk away
so
at
cool.
this
Like,
moment.
if he did.
Vaughn's out the door.
Vaughn steps outside the door. Asyndeton, Hawkins, and Sterling, how do you proceed?
Sterling coming into the room and seeing the bump on his head would go over there and gently, put him a pillow under his head.
Oh, my head.
It's all right, mate. It could be worse. At least you have your head, so you're doing good.
I whisper, "You will feel better immediately," and cast Healing Word on him.
Oh. I did a bad thing. I can't believe I'm just so stupid.
Far more
Vaughn's gonna
level
hate-
heads than yours have been turned by the things that you have thought about. Do not hold yourself too harshly.
Oh, thank you. I won't. But I don't think Vaughn likes me. And I don't think it matters. And I think that's worse than him not liking me. I pretty much gave up everything, didn't I? I lost it all. Doing the thing I wanted to do. That's...
Some people call me smart. I'm not sure, but one of the things that I've learned along the way is the sure way of upsetting somebody is by trying to please everybody. So, just go your own way and try your best. I mean, you learn from this, right? The only mistakes you make are the ones you don't learn from. So, if that motivates you, you still got friends here, but I don't think Vaughn is as bad as you seem. I don't think he's as mad as you think.
I don't think I have any friends here. There's no way I could ever come back here. There's no way anybody would trust me. Why would they?
You are a young man, and there's a big world out there. Don't go to
Yeah.
Bochen, but
Why
find
not?
yourself. Well, it's not a good place
Oh, yeah.
at the moment. There's some things. There's war is coming to Bochen and to a few of the neighboring cities. I'd find a way pretty far from here. You might try living among the dwarves. We found them to be quite welcoming.
The dwarves? Where?
Grovelore?
Grovelore? That's in the Northern Kingdom.
Yeah, it'll take you a while to get there, but like I said, you're a young man. You got plenty of time.
Oh.
A good walk will do you some good, I think.
Yeah, do I need like how do I get inside the kingdom? I've never been there. Do I have to? What do I have to do? Do you know?
I don't. I got there by magic. But if you manage to get to the gates of Grovelore, there's a good chance they'll remember Vaughn. You might tell them that you're a friend of Vaughn and Hawkins. I think that'd be just fine.
Okay.
See if you can get yourself a job at working for Garandan there. Morden's beard.
Make a persuasion check, Hawkins. I would let you do it with advantage since Sterling was at your side.
14.
Okay. Yeah. I never thought about that before. Will I work in the mines?
No, I don't think that's. I mean, I'm sure they do some mining there, but you'll find that the city of dwarves there has all the amenities that you'd find anywhere. It's they have all the industry we do. You could find yourself. They probably even have a library if you want to work in a library.
Thank you. I'll think about that.
You have lots of options, young man.
I suppose I do. Outside Vaughn, the stars are beginning to come out and play in the night sky. There's dancing and singing, and there's a group of chanters gathering around a globe in which they sing out these specific lines of poetry into the globe, and their words preserve inside it. And as they do so, they charge this globe with a permanent spell, repeatedly playing over and over again, cleansing the night air around the chanters. It smells sweet, fresh, and clean, and very much unlike the undercity of Bochen. As you stand outside for a moment by yourself, how do you appear?
Vaughn is thinking about irony and what he did, and then thinking about Trina and what she did, and then thinking about Aramonte and how happy he is that she's with him. And he's just taking some real deep breaths, almost like breathing exercises, just trying to clear his mind and focus and try to figure out what's next, because all of a sudden he's got this fairy baby that is capable, and all of a sudden he doesn't want her away from him. He wants her with him. And what does that look like? And does that mean that Trina is going to be involved at some point? And how does that affect the whole situation? So he's mostly in his thoughts about what his family dynamic is going to be, and if do I need to try to find Trina and figure this out? Do I hope that she never comes around again? This is what Vaughn is thinking, but he's mostly just kind of embracing this new stage of life. I think he feels like coming back and seeing Aramonte's maturing process is the beginning of a new chapter of his life, and it kind of settles him maybe a little bit more back into the mindset of who he was before Bochen fell and he became an outlaw and had to start chopping people's heads off. So I think he's finding some real peace there.
With that being said, Asyndeton, I would like to know specifically how you proceed in this moment and where you are at.
Asyndeton is standing in rapt attention at the ceremony that's going on, feeling the flow of the words, nodding appreciatively at a good turn of phrase. But he finds himself more lost in the moment than he is in thinking deeper thoughts about what lies ahead. He's more interested in the play of words and the preservation of the knowledge that's being created here this evening. It's a ceremony that has captivated him throughout his years at Baldtop. And he finds it especially meaningful tonight, with an imminent departure apparently very close at hand.
And with that, you stare up into the sky and you see the pattern of the stars. The word Black Lotus reverberates in your mind, this new information, and yet accessing vaults of old information stored within the annals of your thoughts and your memories. It occurs to you that Skoda has made a mistake. The Black Lotus does not appear in the moonlight of this month, but next month. This truth rings out in your mind as sure as you pore over it once again, just to double check it is true. Skoda is off by 1 month. It seems reasonable he has chosen you for this mission. With that information, Vaughn standing outside, possibly Sterling and Hawkins close by, how would you proceed?
I take a moment, again, just one last time to make absolutely sure that the calculations are what I think they should be. And once I am confident, I slide over to Vaughn and tap him quietly on the shoulder. Master Vaughn, a word. I am terribly sorry to interrupt you. I do believe Skoda has miscalculated. I think we actually have a little more time to work with than we thought we might.
What does that mean?
Well, I suppose it gives us time to get where we need to go. He was off by a month. Obviously,
month.
Yes, an entire month. And I've gone through my mental notes to make sure that I'm fairly certain that I've got it correct.
This sounds like good news to me. I think
It seems like it, yes.
more time would be beneficial. I know that Hawkins has some things that he wants to work on, and I certainly could use some rest and a little time to figure out this my life with Aramonte now. And well, Sterling has people to annoy, so
I have a cross stitch to finish.
well, there you go. So I believe maybe tomorrow we should all go to Master Skoda and talk to him about this and make sure that we are all on the same page. And then from there we can make our plans.
That seems good. I suppose we can get more information from Skoda at that point.
I think this will give you and Hawkins and maybe even Sterling some opportunity to do some more research and help us come up with a better plan to accomplish this mission. I'm not much for book learning, but I'm happy to participate in the conversations.
I think you do yourself a discredit, but I understand your focus.
Let's tell the others.
Sterling, Hawkins, at this point you smell and see outside Thessia, the new manager of the Baldtop Brew, is serving roast goose, sugared carrots, blueberry pies, and spiced black tea.
You know, Hawkins, I was here like a few months ago, and I went to that Baldtop Brewery, and they had this guy on there. He told this great joke. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what kind of water comes out of oh wait, what was it again? Out of a cacti. That's right. Yeah. What kind of water comes out of a cacti?
This. It sounds familiar. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
It's a cactear. It's a cactear, mate. Oh, it was so good. Everyone was just beside themselves. It was a great time.
That
Anyway,
old gem, yes. It has made the rounds here for sure.
Only Malil himself could think of that one. Anyway, did you fancy something to eat? Because, that food that I had earlier had been out for a while, so I fancied something quite fresh.
Yeah, I do too. This smells great. Everything smells great in here.
The Sojourners gather outside along with Asyndeton. The four of you casting shadows in the moonlight, enjoying the food. Aramonte ever so close by, shy in this crowd, appearing as a plant, but never too far away from her father. As the stars dance across the sky, the voices rise from Baldtop Library. Standing on the rampart is one single vulture, its eyes red, staring at Sterling, keeping a distance, but staring on. And so for now, our story concludes. Every story comes to an ending, so for now we must conclude. Thank you for listening, Sojourners. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and we look forward to continuing this adventure. If you enjoyed this background music and ambiance, then you should visit Tabletop Audio. You can find them at www.tabletopaudio.com. And take the time to sojourn with us. If you have a bad feeling about that vulture keeping its eye on Sterling, then go to your favorite podcasting platform and leave a rating and review. You can also find us being inspirational on Instagram, Facebook, and you can even subscribe to my newsletter on Substack. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can find us on Patreon. But however you choose to sojourn with us, as always, may your story continue.